Good morning. Good afternoon, actually.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, hi. My name is Vicki. I'm going to take you guys through a little Pilates. And so we're going to start on the mat today. Can you tell me, Katie and Megan, do you either of you have any limitations or injuries that I should know about today? No? Okay, you guys okay with hands-on corrections if need be?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, well let's come down to the mat. We're going to start lying supine on our back. We're going to work a little bit in a closed kinetic chain. So I'd like for you to have a nice little curve in the small of your back. Your feet are going to be planted on the ground, hip distance apart. Knees are flexed straight up to the ceiling. Shoulders are down and back, fingertips reaching down to your sides. Actually, let's put our fingertips right on the top of our hip bones. And we're going to start with a couple of pelvic tilts. So I want you to take a deep breath. On your exhale, tilt your pelvis back towards your nose. Not lifting your hips up, just tilting the pelvis. Inhale, and let's rock that back down. Tilting back towards your face on the next exhale, and inhale back down. Exhaling up, and inhaling right back down. Okay, now we're going to try a little rocking side to side here. So the right hip rocks up, and then back down. Left hip, try to keep those hips stable. Yes. So try not to sway those knees back and forth, but just keep the knees even. Just rock the hip up. There it is, nice. And back up. Good job. All right, and let's come back to neutral. We want to keep our spine in a neutral pelvis while we're working in this closed kinetic chain with our feet on the floor. Now let's go ahead and we're going to reach our fingertips long to our side. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, pull your nose back into your skull and start lifting through your chest to raise your upper thoracic chest. Chest lift. Lift your chin just a little bit, Katie. There you go. And now roll back down on your inhale. Exhale, rolling back up. Just to the tip of those shoulder blades. Pull that belly button tight. Good. And back down. And one more here. Rolling it up. And inhale right back down. Good job. And just relax. We're going to move into an open kinetic chain now. This is where we imprint the spine. We want our spine all the way onto the mat. So we're going to press the low back down into the mat. Lift one leg into tabletop and the other leg into tabletop. Holding here. Nice straight legs. Point the toes. Make sure that tailbone's down on the mat. Pressing that low back into the mat. Good. Now we're going to do some toe taps. We want to keep our spine imprinted here to protect it. So we're going to lower our right leg down, tap the mat, and lift back up. Lower the left leg and lift it back up. Point those toes. And one more each side. Right leg and left leg. Good. And come back to tabletop. Let's do both legs. Both legs lower down, tap the mat, lift it back up. Warming up those abs. Keeping the belly button tight. Don't forget to breathe. Press those palms in. Keeping that spine imprinted. And we'll do one more here. Lifting back up on your exhale. All right, and go ahead and set those feet back down. Good job. Let's rock your knees side to side. A little windshield wiper here. Good. And we're going to turn over onto our belly. So you're going to be prone on the mat. And my microphone has not been on. Good job. Hope that is audible. All right. We're going to go into a little extension here. So I want you to be lying on your belly. I want you to think about pulling your belly button up to your spine and pressing your pubic bone down into that mat. Legs are long behind you, not quite as wide as the mat. Toes are pointed. Hands are going to be right under your shoulder blades. Elbows tight into your side. And we're going to take a deep breath here. On your exhale, I want you to lift your back and your chest just a little bit off the mat. Good. stay straight. And we're gonna inhale right back down. Energy out through the bottoms of the toes. Let's exhale up one more time. Maybe this time we come a little bit higher. Yes, good. Squeezing those glutes, keeping that belly button tight, and right back down on your inhale. We're gonna exhale. I want you to come into a full extension this time. Be careful not to dump into your low back, just as far as you can. So we're gonna press through the palms, lifting up, straightening the elbows, so that maybe the ASIS come up, but the pubic bone stays down. Good. Try not to fling your head back too far. Nice long straight neck, and inhale all the way back down. Good job. All right. Press yourself back into a little child's pose. And then we're gonna come back down to the mat. I want you to turn and face the front of the studio. We're gonna do a little side lying leg work. So for side lying work, we want you to be, you can have your head either on your elbow tucked under your ear, or you can be up on the palm of your hand, right? The front, your top hand is gonna come out in front to stabilize your torso. Bottom leg is bent into tabletop, top leg is straight out. Point that toe, hips are stacked right over each other, shoulders are stacked. Good, nice. Now we can bring that leg forward just a little bit to the top corner of the, or front corner of the mat. And go ahead and lift that leg up and back down. Lift it up and back down. Lifting up and then back down. Let's have our toe pointed. We're gonna kick forward just a little bit this time and come back. Squeeze it back, squeeze into that glute. Good, and now extend forward. And now squeeze back into that glute. The foot's gonna come just a little bit behind you. Good. And one more, squeeze it back, squeeze. And good job. Go ahead and set that leg down. And we're gonna flip to do the other side. Stacking those hips and shoulders. Palm resting, head resting on your palm. Go ahead and straighten that top leg out. Point your toe. And we're gonna lift the leg up and lower down. Lift it up and lower down. Keeping those abs tight to stabilize your back. Squeezing into the glute to lift the leg. We have one more. And bring that back down to parallel with your hip. We're gonna go forward. And then just squeeze back just a couple inches. Really get that squeeze in. And now forward. Squeeze it back. Making sure that pelvis stays stable. Pulling up in that side body. You want to make sure you're not dumping down into the obliques. Pull them up. Good. And one more time forward. And press all the way back. Squeeze that glute. And we'll come all the way back down. Good job. Okay, we're going to set up for a plank now. So go ahead and turn face the center. We're going to come to a 4-point kneeling here. So your knees are going to be right under your hips. Palms are right under your shoulders. Head is nice and long, neck is nice and long and straight, coming right out of your spine, gaze is down to the mat. Good. Think about protracting those shoulders away from the middle of your spine. So we're gonna go ahead and round this up, press away from the mat. Because there, that's what I like. All right. So 4-point kneeling is actually a plank when we're doing it correctly, right? And spread our fingers really wide here so we have a good base. Pulling up through the navel, glutes are squeezed, lots of energy coming down through the hands and out through the head, holding that position, good. And so for a kneeling plank, we're gonna walk our knees back just about 4 or 5 inches from under your hips. Make sure you're not on your kneecaps here. And you can go ahead and lift your feet up. Find that nice plumb line, Straight down from shoulder, hips to knees. And here we have our second stage plank. This is a great place to come whenever you may have a little tiredness, right? You want to come out of a full plank. And now we're going to step one foot back at a time. So step your right foot back and then your left foot pressing up into your full plank. Find that plumb line, drop your hips down, shoulders away from the mat. Steady, steady. Pulling the belly button to the spine, squeeze those glutes. Make this a body exercise and not an arm exercise, right? For 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's come back down to the knees. Press yourself back in child's pose. Let's tent your fingers. So fingers come up, and then let's press our wrists out towards the center of the studio. Press your wrists out towards the center. So like this, yes, that helps stretch through those forearms and wrists. Gives you a little relief from that planking. Good job. All right, ladies, we're going to come back up to the reformer now and do a little footwork. Feel a little warmed up?
Just a little.
Just a little? Megan's a trooper, doubling up.
Get my workout.
All right, we're going to start with some footwork here. We're going to have our headrest can be up or down, wherever you like it. Let's start with the balls of your feet on the foot bar. They're going to be about hip distance apart. You can clear it out. You got yourself situated? So let's start on the balls of the feet, hip distance apart. Shoulders are down and back. Palms are reaching towards this opposite side of the studio. Press down into that carriage so that we can stabilize the upper body. We're going to take a deep breath into prep, and then on your exhale, I want you to press that carriage all the way out, wrapping the glute around the body, lifting up through the thighs, keeping that belly button in, and then we'll bend the knees, pull your hamstrings down to your heels. And we take a breath to press out, exhale, and inhale back in. Keeping those knees keeping the knees tracking in line with your first and second toes. Yes. And we want to control that carriage. Make it a full inhale and full exhale out. Try not to pop down into your knees. Press the carriage out and then pulling back in to resist those springs. Good. And one more here. Give it and pull that carriage all the way back in. Let's move to the arches of your feet. We're going to curl the toes around and press the heels under the bar, trying to be like a little bird on a perch, right? Take a deep breath in. We exhale, the carriage goes all the way out, lengthening through the legs, pulling up in the thigh. Good. And bend the knees, resist those springs back in. Exhale out. And pull those hamstrings down to your heels slowly. Good. And press back out. Full cycle of breath with each movement helps to control the speed. We're getting a little ankle articulation here. Nice stretch in the top of the ankle and the bones of the feet. Also, you're getting a little reflexology, which is nice, right? Love reflexology. We're going to do one more here. So let's go ahead and pull that carriage all the way back in. We'll move to the heels. But this time we're going to do a little bit more advanced work. I want you to lift your left leg into tabletop. Go ahead and point that toe. We're going to take a deep breath in. On your exhale, press that carriage all the way out. Unilateral work here. perfect tabletop, pressing out your stable leg and resisting those springs all the way back in. Nice job. Last time here. And we're going to go ahead and switch feet. So the heel of the left foot comes down to the bar. Right leg goes into tabletop. Nice point in that toe. Nice dorsiflexion there. Deep breath in. We exhale. The carriage goes all the way out. Lengthening that leg. Wrapping that glute around the body. Pulling that carriage back in. And we'll do one more here. I think that's even, right? And we'll pull that carriage all the way back in. All right, go ahead and set those feet back down on the foot bar. Take a short rest. Let's windshield wiper the knees back and forth. And we're going to come up for bridging now. Excitement. Let's reach down and grab your blue fit ball. And we're going to go ahead and tuck that in between the thighs, just above your knees. And I'm actually going to have you bring your feet down to the gray platform to begin with. So heels are going to be sort of on the platform, heels arches on the platform, right? So that kind of your whole foot, let's move your feet back just a bit, that's great. All right. And we're going to hinge our hips up. As long as you don't hit your feet on that hip bar. Katie, you're kind of tight, aren't you? Okay, so the back is going to lift up off the mat in one piece. Hips are going to press up to the ceiling, right? You okay?
Tight hamstrings.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll just try a few here with the platform.
There we go, I found my spot.
Okay, good. And we'll press those hips up and tap back down on the mat. Lift back up to the ceiling. So this is a good place if you're ever feeling a little tight in your hamstrings to work, because it's not going to be as rough on them, right? It's a little kinder to our hamstrings to be on this platform. Squeezing a little pressure on that ball while arms are long by your side. And boy, oh boy, I'm glad you guys have your headrests down. Sorry, Angela. And one last time, lift that up to the ceiling. And we'll come all the way back down. All right. Now we're going to move our heels up to the foot bar. So bring those feet back up to the foot bar. And this time we'll do an articulating bridge. So we're going to start with that pelvic tilt that we worked on the mat. Take a deep breath in, fingertips reaching. Exhaling, we're going to roll our spine up one vertebra at a time, lifting the hips up to the ceiling and holding here. And rolling back down if you have a cramp. And go ahead and exhale back down. Deep breath in at the bottom. We articulate back up to the ceilings. Press those hips, squeeze the glutes. And coming just to the tip of those shoulder blades. Try to press your wrists down into the carriage so that you're not pulling too much on those pecs. And one more time, bridge it up. Inhale here at the top, and we'll exhale all the way back down. And I lied, we're gonna inhale, exhale, roll all the way back up. We're gonna hold it here, and little pulses on that ball. For 5, 4, 3, keep that carriage pulled in, 2, and 1, and hold it here, hold it, yes! Little pulse to the ceiling, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll all the way back down. Good job. Now let's take that ball out, tuck that under your carriage. Pull your knees into your chest real quick and stretch here. And then we're gonna come up for one more bridging position. This is a little more advanced. We're gonna do a little unilateral work. arches on the foot bar, pressing down into that foot bar, nice and solid. We're gonna go ahead and articulate all the way up to the ceiling. Deep breath, exhale all the way up. Pressing those feet, bring your feet in just a little bit. There you go, good. And now we're gonna lift our right leg into tabletop. Good. Extend it long. Back to tabletop. And back down. Left leg goes into tabletop. Extend it out long. Back into tabletop. And set that back down. Try to keep your hips up. Right leg goes into tabletop. Up to the ceiling. Back to tabletop. And back down. Left leg, tabletop. Up to the ceiling. Back to tabletop. And set it back on that bar. And exhale, your hips come all the way back down to the carriage. Nice job. Go ahead and reach inside and grab your ankles, knees come wide for a little butterfly stretch. Beautiful. Okay, nice job. We're going to come off to the left of the reformer. I want you to go ahead and grab your box and place that long box on your carriage. I'm taking a couple of springs off for you. I don't want you to kill yourself doing these extensions, right?
So nice.
Little long box facing the mirror. So we're going to be flat on our belly, so prone on that box. Grasp the front edge and flop down on there, Megan. All right, reach up and grab your straps. We're going to actually walk our hands up to the tape that's up at the top of the hardware. Bring those straps to the outside of your carriage. Legs are going to be long. Dorsiflex these feet, point those toes. Plantar flex, yes. Flex them, point the toes. Or plantar flex, yes. All right, arms are long down by the side. Nice long straight neck. Gaze is down into the well. Press your pubic bone into that box. Lift your belly up. Squeeze those legs together. Squeeze those glutes. Think about lifting the thighs off. All right, deep breath in. On your exhale, I want you to pull those straps all the way back to your hips. Good. Head stays down, and we go back down. And again, press the palms back to the hips. They're facing your hips, right? So we don't want to flip our wrists around. Just keep them straight facing your hips. There you go. Nice straight wrists. Try not to break them through the wrist. So this is pulling straps. Nice extension. Keeping your head down. Gaze down to the floor. And on your next extension, let's pull those arms back, leave them here, and we're going to go into tricep dips. So bending only at the elbow and press back for your triceps. Good. Right. Belly's tight. Energy coming out through those toes. Nice. Lift your head up just a little bit, Katie. There you go. So cute. Last time, let's pull it back and hold here. Hold it at your hips. We're going to come out for the most advanced. This is iron cross, so arms come out to the sides. Woo, and press back down to the hips. Out to the side. Like a T, letter T. Good. Watch those wrists, Megan. Pull your thumbs, or pull your pinkies to your hips. There it is. Palms face the floor. There you go. Last time, head down. Ooh, girl. Ooh. Yes. And let's relax over the front of that box. You can put your straps back on the pegs. Having a little bit of a thing, huh? Yeah. You're going to be strong. Nice arms. All right, ladies, good job. Now let's come off to your left. So scoot your legs around to the left side, or the right side, I'm sorry. And we're going to turn that box to a short box. And I'm going to put all your springs on, because we're we're gonna do some short box series here for your abs. I want you to go ahead and grab your ring. And this strap is gonna go, the safety strap, or your feet belt, is gonna go, ooh, Megan, yeah. Get your springs on, girl. Yeah, you do fly out the fabric machine. Good job. All right, let's tuck those toes into that strap. And I want them to be a little bit wider so that you have a little, yeah, that strap's gonna hold you better if your feet are wider. Good. Sitting tall up on that box, we're gonna go through the short box abs series, right? Sitting up nice and tall on those sits bones, shoulders are down and back, chest is lifted up, gaze is straight forward, a little bit of pressure on the ring. You're gonna tuck your belly, take a deep breath, exhale, tuck your belly in, C-curl your spine down. Good, just as far as your abs can hold, and come right back up. Good. Again, we tuck the belly, pelvis tilts forward, we roll back down. Good. Little bit of pressure, and back up. One more time. C-curl down, hold it here. C-curl, hold it here. Squeeze on that ring for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and we'll roll all the way back up. Nice job. Set the ring down. No, not all the way down. Just set it down on your legs. And stretch over a little bit. Just a little stretch over. You're not done with the ring just yet, but thanks for the 5. I love it. Okay, come back right up. Right back up. We're going to hinge back this time so back stays flat. We're hinging at the hip, a little bit of pressure on that ring. All right, feet can remain on that great platform or you can lift them up. And we're going to go ahead, take a deep breath on your exhale, hinge it all the way back. Inhale back up. And exhale back. Pressure on that ring, good. Inhale up. Exhale back. Hold it here. Pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way back up. Set that ring up over that foot bar. Stretch it out. Good job. We have a couple more things here for our ab series, right? Let's have the ring up over your head. A little bit of pressure on those pads. We're going to press the ring up to the ceiling. We're going to side bend over to the front of the studio. I want you to think about lifting your rib cage up before you bend over. And exhale to the side. Squeezing through that oblique. And then lift back up on your inhale. Press up to the ceiling. Exhale. Candy cane that body over. Good. Back up on your exhale. Press that ring up. Exhale over to the front. Watch that your arms stay, or head stays even between your arms. Exhale up and over. Squeeze it into that side body. Good. And let's do one more each side. Back up. Back up to center. Ring comes down. Stretch it over that foot bar. Only here for a second, just enough to stretch your back a little bit. We're going to come right back up. Ring comes out to the front. Take a deep breath in. We're going to twist to the front of the room. Twist it over. And we come back up. And twist to the back. Try to keep your hips both pressing down flat onto that box. Sit it up nice and tall. And we twist in the waist, keeping both hips pressed evenly into that box. Good. And twist to the back. Exhale. And twist back to the front. On your next exhale, one more to the back. And to the center. Reach that ring over the bar one more time. Great job. We're going to carefully take our feet out of those straps. You can set your ring down to the side and carefully come off the short box. Bring your legs over and step off the reformer. Awesome. If you would please take your box back to the end of the reformer. We're going to come to your springboard. So, when we attach and detach these springs, we like for you to grab the spring and take one off at a time, so that they're not clanging around. But most people just grab both springs, right? So go ahead and grab the spring in one hand, take the hook off the eye, right? And we're gonna put those springs on 10. We have a few different ways of determining where the springs go. We're starting out with snow angels today, so I want them a little above your shoulders. And so we're staying here at number 10. We're gonna face the center. We're gonna stand about a foot away from the springboard. So we're gonna face the center. Arms out, go ahead and grab your handles. Arms are gonna be out to the side, palms face your hips, right? And we're gonna press down to the hip. And then we're gonna abduct those away, slightly higher than your shoulders, and press back down, just like a snow angel. Just like when you're a kid, making an angel in the snow. Feet are hip distance apart, belly's nice and tight. Good. Pressing back. Press those arms down and then resist those springs to go back up. Don't let them pull you. Good. And press down one more time. And go ahead and let those springs go back down. Good job. Now we're going to turn back to face the springboard. We can do snow angels either way. So just for variety, we've had to face the center. And now we're going to take our springs and we're going to move them down to our shoulder height. So about 8 for Megan and 9 for Katie. Usually 8 or 9 is a pretty good bet for the spring placement. Most people's shoulders are going to be somewhere in that range. If you have someone that's really tall, of course, go ahead and put those up on 10, right? We're going to do some unilateral side work with our arms. So let's turn and face the front of the studio. And we're going to take the spring that's closest to hand that's closest to the springboard is going to take that spring. I want you to step away just a little bit. Maybe that's too much. Yeah. Nice bend in the knees, a little micro bend in the knees. Feet are hip distance apart. The elbow's going to be tucked in close to your side. Belly's pulled in. We're going to do a little work for our rotator cuff. So I want you to just pull that arm. The fist comes to your midline, right? And then back out to the side. Trying to resist that spring. Adjust it as you need to. Maybe you come a little farther. Maybe you go a little closer. Step back just a little bit on your mat, Megan, so that you're, yes, that helps. And pull that across. This is really helping with your teres minor and multifidus muscles in the spine, helping with that rotator cuff. And you all hear about rotator cuff surgeries, right? We don't want to have that. All right, last time, palm comes back out. Let's take the spring in the other hand. So hand closest to the studio grabs the spring. You're right in front of your belly here. So you might need to move just a little bit closer. There you go. And now this arm comes out to the side and back into the midline. Same but different, yeah? More muscles in that rotator cuff. Good. Last time. Nice job. Bring it all the way back and set that spring down. Let's turn and face the back. We're going to start with the hand closest to the spring. Elbow tight to the side. Nice bend in the knees. Squeeze those glutes. Keep your belly button tight. Bring that arm to your midline. Fist to the midline and back out. Fist comes to the midline. Step back just a little bit, Megan. There you go, Ace. I know. Yeah, step back just a little bit, Katie, on your mat. So that it's coming out in front of you. Yeah. We have 2 more here. And now we're going to switch hands. So handle comes into the left hand. Back into your little stance here. Bend knees, elbow Hand is in front of the midline, and we'll tuck the elbow in, bring that spring out to the side. Good, nice. Try to keep your hips pointed evenly to that back wall. Yes. And we'll do one more here. And bring it all the way back. Go ahead and set that spring down. Nice job. We're going to leave the springs where they are, but I want you to take them and just kind of set them to the side of the bar. There you go. And we're going to come down to the leg springs. Now, for leg springs, we use the purple springs. They're a little bit heavier. And we're going to move those down to, I think both of you are going to probably be on number 4 here. A very tall person would be able to do this on number 5, but I think we both want to do 4 today, right? So same thing applies, grabbing those springs, putting it on the eyelets. We're going to turn around and face the center of the studio on our thumbs, right? Go ahead and lie back. Reach up and grab that dowel bar at the bottom on the outside of the hardware, and then scoot yourself away so that your arms are straight. This is about the correct distance that you want to be away from the wall to get the leg work in. And now we're going to grab one spring, bend that leg, and place your foot in that strap, low on the arch, nice. And then the other spring goes on the other foot. Yay. You can continue to hold on the outside of that bar. If that bothers your shoulders, you can have your arms pressed down to your side. Just make sure that you're pressing with your lats so that you're stabilizing that upper thoracic area. Legs are going to be at 90. Let's start a Pilates V here. Heels together, toes apart. Deep breath in and exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to lower those legs down to 90, making sure you keep that spine in neutral. Tailbone is heavy on the mat, and lift those feet back up to 90. Keeping that tailbone down. Inhale down, and then exhale to lift. And one more time, exhale. Let's hold here, this 45. We're going to turn our feet parallel now. So it's a little harder to control without that stabilization of your heels, right? Make sure your tailbone stays down. Inhale, bend your knees into a perfect tabletop. Don't let your knees come too far back. Perfect tabletop. Now press both feet out. Exhale. Try to press evenly through those straps. Inhaling, the legs flex in. Exhale, extend the knees and hips out. Inhale, flexing in. Exhale, extending out. Good. Let's do one more here. Exhale all the way out. Let's put the heels back together and lift the legs up to 90. Great. Now we're going to make sure our tailbone's staying down on that mat, so a little pressure in those straps. And we're going to open the legs to a little small V. Circle them away from each other, down to the bottom. Together again at the bottom, and we're going to lift back up through center. Okay, let's try that again. Open just about as wide as the mat. Abduct those legs out and away, back down to the center, and lift up. Inhale, out and away, out and down, circle it around to the bottom, exhale back up through center, and hold here. We're going to exhale now, press both feet down through center, open just about as wide as your mat, and then circle back around to the top. Good. Exhale down through the center. Abduct away from your midline, out and around, circle back around to the top. One more time, press down. Inhale all the way back up to center. Great job. Go ahead and bend your knees. Take one strap off at a time. And we're going to leave those straps for now. Good job. All right. How's that feel? Awesome. Good. Okay. We're going to come up and just to your knees, facing the springboard. And I'm gonna have you attach the dowel rod to the top springs, the yellow springs. So this free dowel rod here at the bottom can go on just like this. Just leaving the handle on or off. And attach that to the eyelets. Got it, Katie? Good. Good job. Okay. Now, we're gonna swing our legs around so we're seated in front of this bar. You can let go of the bar to do that. You're moving down a little, Katie. All right. And then you can either tuck your feet up underneath that bottom dowel rod, or you can press your feet up against it, but your feet should be about as wide as the hardware. So there we go, a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Sitting up straight and tall in those sits bones. I want you to grab that bar, overhand grip on the outside of the hardware. Sitting up nice and tall in those sits bones. Shoulders are down and back. Chest is lifted up. We're going to take a deep breath in. On your exhale, tuck your pelvis in. Start to curl down one vertebra at a time. Pull that nose back into your skull. Keeping that neck and shoulders up off the mat till the very last. Good. Deep breath here. And we exhale, tuck that nose in. Start curling up through your chest, through your mid-back, through your low back, and all the way up to your sits bones. Awesome job. Deep breath in here. We're going to exhale, roll it down one more time. And inhale, exhale all the way back up. So that's nice and stable with that bar. Yeah?
Yes.
We're going to take it off. So go ahead and take that bar off. Leave the handles on. Good. And we're going to try this with using the handles with your roll down. This is going to make you work a little bit differently because we're unilateral now, right? It's going to be kind of shaky wobbly. So deep breath in, arms are nice and long, belly button to spine. On your exhale, start to curl down through your pelvis, low back, mid back, upper back, head. Nice job. Inhale here. We're going to exhale back up, lifting through the chest. Arms stay long. Ooh, it's hard. I love those. Let's do one more. Tucking it back. Exhale down. Beautiful. And we're inhale here at the bottom. Exhale, come all the way back to the top. So you need a lot more control and stabilization to use the handles instead of the bar, right? A little bit more advanced. Good job, ladies. All right. And for our next trick, I'm going to move these springs for you, because we're going to come down to our backs and do just a couple of things supine arm work, right? Purple springs go back to 5. Yellow springs come down to 4. All right. Katie, you're a rock star, as always. And we're going to go ahead and lie back on our back. Arms are long to your side. Palms up to the ceiling. All right. So we can do a lot of different things here, but we're going to do bicep curls. So arms are down all the way by your hips. Nice straight wrists. We're going to inhale. On your exhale, pull those straps toward you, springs towards you, and back down. Exhale up. And inhale it back down. Exhale up. Inhale back down. Let's do 2 more. Gun shows coming to town. Right? Got mega stars here. Last one, and come all the way back down. All right. Since we're down here, we might as well go ahead and let go of those straps. And I'd like for you to roll like a little ball for a second. Pull your knees into your chest. Rock back and forth. Massage that back out a little bit. Roll front and back. Giving yourself a little bit of a break. Because guess what's next? the exo chair.
Yay!
Yay, the exo chair is next.
My favorite!
Yay, everybody's favorite. Thank you for putting your springs back on number 11 and your bottom straps on 3. Very, very nice.
Best clients ever.
You are. Best students ever. And my throat is so dry. It is a little warm in the studio, so go ahead and grab a drink if you need to, for sure. Okay, so this is the exo chair. I have you set up 2 springs on the number 2. We're gonna start out with a little footwork. Now, one thing to always remember, if you have to adjust your exo chair, is to hold the pedal while you're moving these springs. And we always add a spring before we take off a spring, because we don't want there to be no springs. That's a bad deal. All right, so go ahead and face the mirror, sitting on the top of the chair. Excuse me. Arms are gonna be long by your sides.
That's Justin Bieber. No, I think that's the.
Are you kidding me?
One Direction.
One Direction.
Come on,
Okay,
Harry.
I don't know. Let's go ahead and put the balls of our, let's actually put the heels onto the foot pedal. You girls.
Justin Bieber, jeez. It sounds like young Justin Bieber. It's Harry.
All right, we're gonna keep
Yeah,
a
Harry.
nice neutral spine here, sitting up tall with our back straight. Shoulders are gonna be down and back, chest lifted up. I have a little bit of a goat rodeo going on, but that's cool.
No, you don't.
All right, so we're gonna take a deep breath in. On your exhale, I want you to press that pedal all the way down. Good. Inhale all the way back up, keeping that spine nice and neutral. Yes. Pressing down, feet are hip distance apart, pressing evenly through both heels. We'll do 3 more here. Footwork on the chair is a little different than on the reformer because you really have to work to keep your abs in tight and keep your spine in a correct position. So right away it's harder. Yeah?
Yeah.
This is the last time. Pedal comes all the way up. Let's move to a Pilates V. So heels together, toes apart. We'll leave the heels on. We're going to take a deep breath in and press that pedal down. Squeeze those inner thighs. Yes. Knees come wide this time. And we squeeze through those inner thighs to press down. You can press onto the side there. Press your palms into the side of the chair. That's perfectly fine. Helps keep your chest lifted up. Beautiful. One more here. And we'll come all the way up. All right, now comes the really tough part. Let's turn our feet back to parallel. Place the arch on the foot bar. We're gonna go ahead and lift the right leg off, out straight in front of you, and we're gonna press that pedal all the way down with your left leg. Good. These are tough, right? Keeping that chest lifted up, belly's tight, spine is still neutral. We're just doing 3 here, so when you have your 3, go ahead and bring that pedal all the way up, switch feet. Good. That's like the hardest ever, keeping that leg up straight out of your hip socket, yeah? And lifting and lowering that pedal with the other foot. Nice arch. Oh, yes. Last time. And go ahead and bring that pedal all the way up. Yeah, those are rough. Little unilateral work on the chair. It's good for the soul. All right, go ahead and step down off the chair. You might want to pull your mat a little bit forward because we're going to go ahead and bridge on the chair this time. We're moving this spring down to 1 on 3. All right. We're gonna start with our heels on that foot pedal. We want your hips to be flexed outside of 90, so I don't want you to be in tabletop. I want you to scoot away just a little bit so that you're not in tabletop. Less than a 90-degree angle from your hip to your knee, right? That's gonna help protect your low back, and your spine will be in neutral throughout this whole exercise. Deep breath in. We're going to exhale and slowly articulate the spine up, tucking the pelvis up, one vertebrae at a time, just to the tip of your shoulder blades, and exhale back down. Good. Inhale in. One more articulation all the way up, pressing those hips to the ceiling, one straight line, shoulders, hips, and knees. Exhale back down. And let's do one more articulation. Toes are pointed up to the ceiling. And we exhale all the way back down. Good job. We're going to do a couple of hinges here. Heels stay up on top of that foot bar. The back lifts in all one piece. Exhale, lift the hips up to the ceiling. Tap the mat, lift them back up. Good. Tap the mat, lift it back up. One more time, tap the mat, lift up and hold here. And now we're gonna press into our heels and try to lower that pedal down. Lowering just a couple inches and back up. Good, hamstring curls, couple more here. Lower it down just an inch or two. Pull that belly button to your spine, squeeze those glutes, good. Last time. And we'll bring that pedal all the way up. Bring your hips all the way back down. Awesome. Pull those knees up into your chest. Rock it side to side. Hands come between the legs. Grab your ankles. Happy baby. Who's the happiest baby? Woo! Let's take our legs out to a V. Slide your palms up the inside of your legs, all the way up to your inner thigh. Pull that back. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? That's my favorite too. All right, legs come back to 90. Go ahead and roll yourself all the way up. We're coming up to standing. We're gonna face the front of the studio. Come onto the inside of the, or in center of the studio so that you're on this side of your chair. We're going to go ahead and do a few side bends here. So I want you to lie on I want your hips to be right about in the center of the chair. This hip bone, right about in the center of the chair. Reach down with that hand, stacking those hips together, good. Shoulders are stacked, hands down, long to your side, or stabilizing here in front, that's fine. Arm is long, and we're gonna squeeze up through this oblique and press back down. Beautiful, Katie, looks great. Toes are nice and long and pointed. One more time, bring it all the way back up. Feet come down to the floor. We're gonna turn and face the chair. You want your hip bones, ASIS, a couple inches away from the front edge of that chair. Your legs are going to be long, abducted just a little bit out. Not quite hip distance. There you go. Nice. Lifted through the thighs, belly button's tight. Both hands are coming down to the pedal. We're going to press that pedal all the way to the floor. Good. Nice, strong, straight neck. Good. And we're going to bend it at the elbow and press back down. Getting a little tricep work here, right? Keep those elbows tight into your side. Yes. Press all the way down and hold. And we're going to come into just a little bit of a swan extension. So keeping the arms straight, let that pedal lift you up, up, up. Neck's nice and long. Watch that neck of yours. There you go. And press back down to the floor. One more time. Lifting through the back up into that nice extension. Good. Long, straight legs. Energy out through the toes. Sweet. Pubic bone is pressed into that chair. We'll press it all the way back down. Bend your elbows, bring that pedal up. Feet come down to the floor. Grasp the edge of the chair, push yourself back, and flat back over. Giving yourself a nice little stretch there. Good. And we're going to turn and face the back wall for our side bends on the other side. So stacking the hips, arm presses that pedal all the way down. We can stabilize with this hand in the front, beautiful. And now squeezing through those obliques on the top side, hips to ribs, and we press back down. Squeeze it up, pressing those hips up to your ribs, keeping that belly button tight, your spine is neutral. And one more. And we'll come all the way back up. Feet come to the floor, pedal comes up. Awesome. And now, just for fun, we're going to try a couple of tricep dips. So we're going to set the box in front of the chair so that the pedal is in front of you. Goodness, Megan.
I just made sure I had enough room.
Yeah. There we go. All right. So we have you on one spring. It's on one. So, oh, yours is on three. You're not going to be happy. And we're going to stay seated on that box. Scoot back just a little bit, Megan, so you can reach that pedal. And we're going to turn our fingers face forward. See how that does with your elbows. You can also face your palms or fingertips back or to the side if it feels better to you, but I like forward better, yes. And now we're going to go through some tricep dips right here. So bending at the elbow, lifting the pedal up. We're going to press that pedal back down. Nice, straight, strong back, neutral spine, chest is lifted up. Try to relax through your shoulders, collarbones are wide. Good, one more time, press it down, and lift all the way back up. So you supposedly can move through a full range of motion through your elbows with these tricep dips. Maybe C, maybe no. All right, good job. Now then, we have one more thing. I'm just going to explain this to you. You can come back to your reformers. And I'm going to take your box, Megan, and set it back down here. Actually, I bet we can probably see this one a little bit better. So I'll take Katie's box and set it back down at the end of the reformer too. And this is for standing chair work. So if we're going to be standing on the chair to do any work in our more advanced levels, we're going to detach the handles from the springs. How in the world do we do that? The handles go up here. How do they do that? Spring and love. Yes. Good Lord, I was confused for a second. Sorry. The spring, the handles go up here on number 11, right? And then the chair. Is going to go right up against the springboard with the foot pedal facing front. And then you have to kind of manhandle it around a little bit to get it up close enough to that springboard, right? That way, we can step here on the pedal, right? And the knee can come up. I am so short for this standing work up against this wall. I would probably never ever do it. My knee doesn't reach the foot bar. But here we can be a little more stable. I'm on one spring on one, so I'll never be able to lift myself up here, but you get the idea. That's for safety. Okay, oh my goodness, there we go. All right, so I think that's gonna conclude our class for the day. Let's come off to the mat and stand with our feet hip distance apart for a final roll down. We'll take a deep breath in. And exhale back down. Flat back over, reach for your toes. Hang out here for just a second. Stretching the hamstrings. Deep breath, pull your belly button up to your spine. Head is heavy. You have a 10-pound weight on your tailbone. Keeping that from rolling up. Drag your fingertips up your thighs. Stack your spine one vertebra at a time, all the way up. Arms come out wide again. Reach up to the ceiling. Let's come up on our tiptoes. Deep breath here. Close your eyes. So crazy. Arms come out to the side. Roll back down to your heels. Open your eyes. Bring your arms up into the center. Thank you so much, ladies, for helping me with my practical twist out.
Thank you. That was awesome.
I'll see you next time. Hi, Angela. Thanks, honey.